going on, YouTube? This your boy Oscino Fly, and back with another review, I guess. And y'all gonna have to excuse me. I didn't know which channel I was gonna put this on, so I think I'm gonna put this as a main channel as a review. So without further ado, we're gonna be reviewing Chris Rock Live. Yes, Chris Rock, longtime comedian, one of the GOATs in a lot of people's eyes. Been in a lot of people's favorite comedies. You know, he has done a lot of things in life. And, you know, it's good to see him still doing stand-up, because stand-up, I guess, brings him joy. And let's without further ado, let's just get into this. I know what y'all here for. Y'all here for the last 10 minutes, but I do want to talk about this comedy stand-up as a whole. For one, I do think the comedy stand-up is funny. Like, don't get it wrong. I feel like Chris was really in his bag. This was better than Tambourine. And I feel like, I don't know, I guess that slap really invigorated his comedy stand-up. There's a lot of jokes in here, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be focused on the last 10 minutes of the stand-up, in which we are going to talk about it. But I do want people to understand that, because it's about an hour and 10 minutes long, so I guess the other hour of it is really funny. I do feel like Chris, you know, he shows that he still got it. It's just the fact that he did it in Baltimore is kind of crazy. And also the fact that he got, you know, he's got some laughs. It was crazy. The fact that it's like Netflix's first live special. That is also crazy as hell. So I'm glad Chris Rock is still getting his money. I'm glad he's still touring. I do want people to realize that Chris Rock, because I feel like there's a lot of things. Shit. You know what? You know what we hear. With all that said, you know why we here. The last 10 minutes. We all know what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock and the Oscars. That has been done to death. But we have never really heard Chris Rock's side. He has kept quiet for it the long time. And, you know, because of that, people really want to know what he thought and how he felt. I personally had my opinions on it. I felt like this should have been done off stage. Will Smith was terrible for doing this, and I don't agree with what Will Smith did. I just, like I said, if he'd have done that off stage, backstage, maybe we wouldn't even be going through this. But the fact that he did it on stage, it definitely magnified. Not only that, you did it on stage, you did it at the Oscars with a black producer in there, and a lot of other people got Oscars, including Will Smith. So, and then not only do that, Chris Rock was very embarrassed in front of his family, and then all this for a G.I. Jane joke. You have seen Will Smith slowly get his career back while apologizing so many times, where it's gone to a point where I am sick of him apologizing. I'm glad he's took accountability, but I also am tired of hearing him apologize about this. What's done is done, and we try to get on. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it also helped Chris Rock in his career. You know, when he found out he was going on tour, especially with Dave Chappelle, you know, you've seen a little subtle jabs here and there. You hear about the subtle jabs here and there, and you know, to me, frankly, Chris Rock has the right to do so. He was embarrassed on national TV. Not only that, some of the biggest nights, one of the biggest nights, the Oscars, was something that a lot of people want. Something that Will Smith was striving to get himself. The last 15 minutes, woo, he went the fuck in. Now, there's a lot of things that I feel like is kind of unfair, and is how black women, and look, I love my black women, but it's kind of unfair how black women kind of like jumped on him. Either you wasn't Chris, but I can tell people either you wasn't real Chris Rock fans, or you're just feminist because you got at Jada. And a lot of people felt like Jada, you know, shouldn't have been, you know, cursed out, or because he did call Jada a bitch. Spoilers. That's not the whole thing, but he did call Jada a bitch. And you know, a lot of black women are mad about that. I was like, some of y'all have never been slapped on national television. A lot of people felt like Jada shouldn't get none of this, but at the same time, I want people to understand, you are the main person for some reason. Just open your personal life to personal business to the whole world, and a lot of people just like, y'all talk too much. Y'all done said too much shit. You know, the whole August Alsina thing, and then y'all sit down in a red table talk. A lot of people look at that. It's just like, why would you disclose some information about that? And me personally, the 30-year career that Will Smith was having, where he was looked at as the nice guy in Black history, as, you know, someone to look at, I feel like that was all ruined when he was slapped. Now, this 30-year illustrious career that he done fucking perfected and craft and, you know, was careful with it, lost it all on a slap. Now, do I blame Jada for it? No, I don't really blame Jada for it, but I do think she could have stopped him. Whether or not Chris Rock knew that Jada had alopecia or not, Will did. He knew it was just like a quick joke. Even Chris Rock said, it's a little joke. It was a little joke. It was just like, that was off the hitch. It wasn't, I don't think it was there to make fun. And a lot of people was like, oh, Chris Rock always make fun of Jada. I said, well, when you do dumb shit, or when you say or do dumb shit, you're gonna get made fun of. It's like, in the comedy sketch, and I want people to understand this, he was making fun of everybody. He was making fun of white people, he was making fun of white men, he was making fun of white women, he was making fun of black men, he was making fun of black women, he made fun of other celebrities, he made fun of a lot of people in that comedy sketch, but a lot of people just gonna remember the last 10 minutes. But there was a variety of people he was making fun of, including himself, and including a good story about his daughter, which I was like, this is a good fucking story. It's a good life lesson. All that, you know, before he even got to Jada, there was a lot of things that I feel like a lot of people going to miss. I feel like there's that last 10 minutes, a lot of people not going to watch this special because a lot of people was recording it, putting it on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. So, and let me tell you something, because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning when I watched this, and there was nothing but people talking about it, whether it's the manosphere, the women's side, everybody was talking about that last one. So Chris Rock got his money. So salute to Chris Rock getting his fucking money. And the jokes was flying in at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. So this was probably one of the most anticipated things on Netflix. I hope it breaks records, or at least get up there with Dave Chappelle. Was the last 10 minutes funny? I thought it was funny. But then again, I'm a fan of Chris Rock. I do think it was funny. I think a lot of things Chris Rock said was funny. I thought the whole stand-up was funny. But if people want to know, but I can see a lot of people taking the precautions, especially on Twitter. I seen especially black women, they did not like the last 10 minutes. And it's probably because he called Jada a bitch. Now, do I have a problem with him calling Jada a bitch? No. Because I feel like everything that Will Smith worked on, it was ruined by like the red table talking to August Alsina and everybody making fun of him and his wife, and it makes it look like he doesn't know how to be a father, or the way he lived, and everybody just constructively criticizing his fucking lifestyle. And the other part is, they don't feel like Jada, he's like, oh, that is worth Jada. Now, I done said this on many a times that, because a lot of people say he wouldn't do that to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or I said, yes, he would. And I said, yes, he would. Y'all don't understand that Will Smith will go to war for that woman. Like, he fight anybody for that woman. When I tell you the way Will Smith, he treats Jada Smith like that is God's greatest creation, it is bar none. I think he will go anybody, because a lot of people, because Chris Rock's like 5'10", Will Smith is like 6'3". I didn't know I thought Chris Rock was taller, to tell you the truth, but he's about 5'10". But still, it's just that I feel like, even then, it was just like, why didn't you hit back? It was like, because I had parents or some shit like that. And he knew what the fuck like he said, he knew what the fuck he was. I feel like a lot of, he was holding in there for a while. And do I feel like, whether you think or not that he should have apologized or not, that's up to Chris, really. Because, like I said, he was the one that took the slap. So, He was the one that millions, and I mean millions and millions of people, and not only just affected him, it affected his brothers, it affected his family, it affected his children, it affected his mother. Your baby, like, because a lot of black women is just like, oh my God, you know, Chris should get slapped, and it's just like he's a comedian. What he's supposed to do? And over a G.I. Jane joke, that night, Will Smith was just, it's like a shaken up Pepsi bottle, and that once you open it, it just explodes. And I guess that was the explosion. Overall, the stand-up is actually pretty funny. And, you know, go ahead. I think a lot of people are just going to watch the last 10, 15 minutes of it. But I do say, go watch the whole stand-up. I think it was funny. I think Chris Rock was definitely in his bag in this one. It was definitely better than, I think, Tamarine was the last one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, go ahead and watch the movie. I think it was a great watch. I think Chris Rock did his thing, and I hope that, you know, he still was able to do comedy and tours. And I hope, you know, this really helped his career a little bit better. But I do want to see, now that he got all this stuff out, I don't see him and Will Smith reconciling anytime soon. But I do hope they do talk it out as men, off camera. They don't have to do this on the Red Table Talk. They don't have to do this on camera. They don't have to do this whenever. But I do hope they do some reconciliation as men, because, like I said, these are two goats, especially in the black community. These are two goats that a lot of people would like say. You know, when you look at someone with a positive career outlook, you can look at Chris Rock and you can look at motherfucking Will Smith. Let me know what you guys think. How did y'all feel about it? Did y'all watch it? Till then, my name is Oscino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.
Fancy ass man wear glove of rings, flying around town in a tub of wings. Found out how to make love to fiends. He mixing that fudge with the drug of dreams. She too teenage to have a drug of choice, but she fuck with that Royce like she love Detroit. She rolled. Pharaoh.